You've been trying to step back from the day-to-day operations for a decade. You've hired managers, you've built systems, you've invested in training for yourself and everybody else, and you're still doing everything. Let's talk about the real reason, boss. You hired someone to take things off your plate, but it didn't work. You built SOPs and put them into Google Drive, but the team doesn't use them. You sent your manager to a leadership workshop. They came back and nothing changed. You've done this cycle now 4 or 5 times probably, and every time you end up right back where you started, doing everything yourself. You're telling yourself you're a micromanager. You're telling yourself you're just not pushing hard enough. There's got to be a way if I just try more. But today I'm going to tell you why. And here's the thing. It's not because you haven't tried hard enough. I know you have. It's because your business is structurally designed to keep you trapped. I know. Let's talk about it. The first issue you have is your business is structurally designed to keep you trapped in it. Every business owner I work with tells me the same thing. I've tried to delegate, Talmar. And I believe them. You can see the real thought they've put behind it and the assignment and the really just belief in the team member that they're going to take it and run with it and get it done. And they're just so frustrated by it all. And here's what nobody told you. You can't delegate your way out of a structural problem. Does your manager have decision-making authority in all things, in some things, in anything? Is there an escalation plan for communicating and when to come to you, when to go to managers, and when an employee just needs to handle it themselves? And is there an accountability framework? Does anything get enforced if it doesn't come out of your specific mouth that you're disappointed, upset, frustrated that things aren't getting done? Is there any framework to it at all, how we ask people to show up? You built this business like a machine where you're the engine. And then you wonder why, if you stop and try to walk away, the business comes to a standstill, right? Imagine that your business is a house and you're building no foundation. You went straight to windows and putting furniture in. And you're like, why isn't the furniture holding up the roof? You can arrange the furniture, new hires, new systems, new coaches, but the foundation was never poured evenly so everything could build upon it. But the good news is with structural, as soon as we identify it, we can fix it. So structure is buildable, it's plannable, and it doesn't require you to be a different person. It just requires the right blueprint and prioritizing the right system and infrastructure. The good news, once you see it's structural, it's totally fixable. We just have to pull it off you. We have to build a foundation that's not centered on you and your workflows. And it takes a minute, but we can do it piece by piece, creating the pillars so we have a beautiful foundation. Don't worry about it. Structural, that is something that is totally fixable. The second issue, if you delegate without that infrastructure, it's guaranteed failure. So when you hand something off and 2 weeks later it's back on your desk, or worse, you hand it off, they do it wrong, and you're like, never mind, just give it back to me. I'll get it done, and I'm going to make this happen because we just need to get it done. And before you know it, your job is a combination of half of their responsibilities and all of the CEO responsibilities. It's too much. Delegation is the last step in setting up the workflows. Giving it to the team is after we set up our decision authority structures, our escalation communications, and all of the pieces that you will need inside your infrastructure to make sure that by the time you say do this, they, meaning your team, know exactly where to show up, where to put the information, where to ask questions, what they're allowed to decide on and what they're not. And then they understand the accountability. They're taking ownership and they know what's going to happen and what it's going to look like if they don't meet their own deadlines. You can't delegate to a manager who can't make decisions. And you can't step back when there's no escalation criteria because they don't know what they can take care of and what you need to be involved in. And you can't take a vacation when the team's default setting is, let's go ask the boss. That's not going to keep you in the space that lets you enjoy being a business owner, lets you thrive and scale this profitable business outside of you being a part of every piece of it. So remember, if you're beating yourself up thinking, oh my gosh, why can't I just let go? Stop. It's probably not a letting go problem at all. It's probably an infrastructure problem. And infrastructure is also fixable. We can do this. Now we just have to build the plans, the process, the systems that'll be repeatable and able to support what the team needs. Issue number 3, one pillar at a time. 90 days each. As we identify items, structures, systems, processes, pillars that need to be fixed to set it up so that you can step out of the day-to-day and step fully into the visionary role of the CEO you were meant to be, we need to make sure that we're focused on one thing at a time. If we have 3 pillars that need to be worked on in our business, we can't do them all at once. It's not going to work. It'll feel like you keep having meetings with people and talking about things, but you never quite get to the end. Can you relate to this feeling? Are we trying to do too many things at one time? When we want to identify the 5 pillars, right? That might include your CEO role, your hiring infrastructures, your management framework. It can include the team alignment, the actual systems and processes, and it absolutely includes your leadership integration. When you identify the pillars that are not holding up your roof, we have to work on them one at a time. And we do 90 days of focus. We can identify it, resolve it, and implement it in 90 days. And then we go to the next pillar. Let's stop trying to do it all at once, right? It's like that circus plate person who's trying to spin those things. We all know it comes crashing down every time. Why would we set ourselves up by trying to do too much at one time? Now, you might be thinking, great, Telmar, so I have to rebuild my entire business. No, absolutely not. There's 5 pillars in the people side of your business, and you don't need to fix all of them at once. We need to identify what the lowest scoring pillar is because that's where we want to focus, right? We prioritize one at a time. We're going to do one pillar. We're going to set up the structure, set up the process, implement it all within 90 days before we move to the next pillar. Most business owners who have been stuck, they tend to need the manager integration as their priority, but yours might be the CEO role. It might be the management framework. Whatever it is, we can fix that, and then everything else falls into place a little easier. And then we move to the next pillar. So it only takes 90 days to make an effective structural change. And if we're going to do that, if you really do need work on all 5 pillars, it still can be done in 12 to 18 months. And then you're like, holy cow, I get to actually operate as a CEO instead of trapped as the most expensive employee in my company. But you have to start with one. You have to not try to boil the ocean. We're not trying to do it all. Don't read another leadership book. Don't join just a coaching program. We need to structurally fix what your business needs to be successful so that you can step into the CEO role. And if you've been stuck for 5, 10, 15 years, hear me. It is not because you haven't tried hard enough. You've tried plenty. I see you trying. It's because the structure of your business wasn't built to let you let go. It's holding you hostage. You're not a bad delegator. This is not about micromanagement. You're not a control freak. You're a business owner who built a successful business without the infrastructure to support growth. This is a growing pain. It's a structural gap. It is not a character flaw. You are an amazing boss, and look how you have created jobs in the universe. That's just magic out of thin air. If you know that you want some help with this, please consider signing up for our live intensive. It's for business owners. We're going to assess all 5 pillars. You'll know exactly which thing to prioritize. It's an intensive, and I give people personal attention. So we're only going to have 10 people sign up for this. Make sure you go to the link in the bio, register if this is where you're at. If you really want to identify those hidden gaps and understand what you can work on in what order to make it easier for you to be the CEO and know that this business is sustainable regardless of where you are and what you're doing, I'd love to see you in the intensive. Until then, boss on.